In an emotional live stream that quickly went viral, reality television veteran Jackie Christie took the world by surprise. Known for her strong personality, dramatic flair, and unwavering devotion to her husband Doug Christie, Jackie had always been seen as someone in control. But during this live stream, she was visibly distressed, fighting back tears and pausing several times to collect herself. She revealed that someone she once considered family had misused her name, manipulated her image, and violated her trust on a profound level. The individual she accused, none other than Chris Webber, a respected former NBA star and entrepreneur with numerous business investments under his belt. The mention of Webber's name instantly catapulted the livestream into the social media stratosphere. Screenshots, video clips, and summaries of Jackie's confession were being shared across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook within minutes. Thousands watched in real time, and millions more have since viewed the footage. It wasn't just the celebrity gossip factor that captivated viewers. It was the rawness of her voice, the depth of her pain, and the seriousness of the accusations. Jackie wasn't simply venting. She was dropping receipts, speaking about legal violations, and hinting at a massive scandal that involved more than just bruised feelings. It potentially involved fraud, deception, and a tangled web of exploitation within the business world. Chris Webber's rise as a post-NBA mogul. Chris Webber's transition from athlete to businessman was widely admired in both sports and entrepreneurial circles. After retiring from the NBA, he pursued various interests that included real estate investments, music production, sports commentary, philanthropy, and eventually, the burgeoning cannabis industry. His most high-profile venture, Playerson Holdings, was marketed as a groundbreaking initiative that aimed to provide social equity for marginalized communities through cannabis investments. To the public, Webber appeared thoughtful, articulate, and determined to give back. He often spoke about his difficult upbringing and his desire to empower others who faced similar challenges. Through his ventures, he surrounded himself with high-level investors, celebrity endorsements, and a small army of publicists to protect his brand. For years, everything appeared to be going according to plan. But as Jackie Christie's allegations surfaced, questions began to swirl about how much of Webber's empire was built on authentic relationships, and how much of it relied on behind-the-scenes manipulation. If Jackie's name was indeed used without her consent to lure investors, that would suggest not only unethical behavior, but a premeditated exploitation of her public image. The cannabis connection and Jackie's alleged role, Playerson Holdings promoted itself as a social impact business, focused on changing lives while creating wealth in the cannabis space. In early 2021, Webber made waves by announcing a $100 million fund dedicated to minority-owned cannabis startups. Jackie Christie, who had championed social justice and minority empowerment on her show, appeared to lend her support to the cause by reposting materials and giving verbal encouragement on public platforms. However, Jackie insists that her support was informal and limited to surface-level mentions. She never intended to become part of the company's leadership or branding. Yet, documents surfaced in late 2023 that listed her as a media consultant and promotional strategist. These filings alarmed her, as she had never signed a partnership agreement or even participated in an in-depth meeting with the company's leadership. According to legal insiders, her name appearing in those documents without proper authorization could expose her to liabilities if the company were to face financial misconduct allegations. In her second live stream, Jackie flatly denied any contractual involvement and threatened to take legal action. "If they think they can slap my name on a company and not face consequences, they've got the wrong one," she said. The investor fallout and financial backlash, perhaps the most damaging aspect of this controversy, is the number of investors who now say they were influenced to contribute money because they believed Jackie Christie was part of the project. One anonymous investor claimed to have contributed $50,000 to a media campaign because he thought Jackie was overseeing the branding. "I thought she was the media mind behind it. If that wasn't true, I want out," he stated in a recorded podcast interview. Multiple parties have begun to question their contracts, and at least 3 investors are reportedly considering legal action. If they can prove that Jackie's name was deliberately used to mislead them, Webber and his partners could face major civil suits. This would not only jeopardize the company's reputation, but also its financial stability and licensing ability in a tightly regulated industry like cannabis. Jackie has made it clear she feels used. not just as a celebrity endorsement, but as a scapegoat who could be left holding the bag if the company collapsed. They wanted my name because they knew it carried weight. But when things go wrong, I'd be the one everyone blamed, she said. That realization, she explained, shattered her emotionally and pushed her to speak out, regardless of the consequences. Doug Christie's warnings and marital strain throughout her emotional narrative, Jackie repeatedly returned to one central figure, her husband Doug Christie. Their marriage, admired by fans and peers alike, has always been presented as one of partnership, devotion, and integrity. Doug, a former NBA player turned coach, had grown skeptical of Weber's post-NBA conduct long before Jackie's name was entangled in business dealings. Doug reportedly warned Jackie several times not to get too close to Weber, urging her to be cautious with public appearances and shared endorsements. Jackie, ever the optimist, thought Doug was simply being protective and brushed off his concerns. She now admits this was one of her biggest regrets. "I ignored Doug's instincts. I thought I was being smart, but he saw something I didn't," she confessed. This episode has reportedly caused stress within the Christie household. According to sources close to the family, Doug was supportive, but understandably upset that Jackie did not heed his earlier advice. The scandal has forced them to have difficult conversations about trust, judgment, and the dangers of fame. Jackie said that the worst part wasn't the public fallout. It was knowing that her husband had to witness her pain and feel helpless. The industry's attempt to silence her, once Jackie began speaking out, the pushback was immediate and forceful. Within 72 hours of her livestream, she received a cease and desist letter from legal representatives allegedly tied to Weber's business team. The letter demanded she stop making false and defamatory statements. Jackie interpreted this as an attempt to intimidate her into silence. She posted excerpts of the letter on her Instagram story, letting the world know that she had no plans of backing down. But the legal threats weren't the only tactic used against her. Several brand partnerships quietly pulled out of scheduled deals. Television producers stopped calling. PR managers who once praised her refused to return messages. The campaign to isolate her was happening right before her eyes. Still, Jackie stood firm. She saw these actions as confirmation that her story was being taken seriously and that powerful people were afraid. "They're trying to make me disappear," she said, "but I've built my platform with honesty, and I'm going to use it. I won't go away quietly." The smoking gun that could change everything. The most explosive development came when Jackie received a voicemail from a former business associate of Weber. In the audio clip, a male voice, believed by Jackie and her team to be Weber's, is heard discussing the strategic use of her name. "Just say Jackie's involved. Don't worry about getting her permission right now. She'll come around when the checks roll in," the voice said. If verified, this recording could be the most damning evidence yet. Legal analysts believe it clearly demonstrates intentional deception, which could form the basis of both civil and criminal lawsuits. Jackie's legal team has already initiated an authentication process and plans to present the recording in court if necessary. The recording also solidified public opinion. People who were previously skeptical of Jackie's claims began to offer vocal support. Celebrities, influencers, and legal experts began sharing her story. Her narrative gained traction far beyond the reality TV bubble, drawing attention from business ethics organizations and legal watchdog groups. Preparing for a courtroom battle, Jackie Christie is not just preparing to defend herself, she's preparing to go on the offensive. Her legal team has reportedly compiled a dossier of communications, contracts, and digital evidence that suggests a deliberate misuse of her image for financial gain. They are exploring a potential civil lawsuit for fraud, misrepresentation, and defamation. She stated in one interview that this battle is no longer just personal. It's a statement for every woman in the entertainment and business worlds who has been used, manipulated, or dismissed. "This isn't about ego or money," Jackie said. "It's about reclaiming my identity and holding people accountable for what they think they can get away with." The legal process may take months, possibly even years. But Jackie is in it for the long haul. She has already lost business deals, friends, and public opportunities. But in her words, what she's gained, clarity, strength, and purpose, is far more valuable. A cultural reckoning in the making, what began as a scandal involving two former NBA stars, has now evolved into a broader conversation about celebrity exploitation, business ethics, and the high cost of remaining silent. Jackie Christie's decision to speak out has prompted others to come forward, and whispers about similar misuses of name and likeness in the entertainment industry have begun to circulate. Jackie's courage has inspired a grassroots movement. Hashtags like #JusticeForJackie, #ProtectBlackWomen, and #TruthOverPower have begun trending. Advocacy groups are now urging greater scrutiny into the use of celebrity endorsements in unregulated industries like cannabis, cryptocurrency, and entertainment branding. The silence from Chris Webber and his team remains deafening. No formal public statement has been issued. No apology has been extended. For many, that silence speaks volumes. In contrast, Jackie's voice is louder than ever, and it's becoming a powerful instrument of change. Conclusion: the power of speaking up. Jackie Christie's journey from tearful livestream to courtroom preparation has been nothing short of transformative. At 55, she has proven that age, fame, and reputation are not barriers to truth. They are tools that, when wielded with courage, can spark real accountability. Her willingness to speak up in the face of intimidation has earned her more than sympathy, it's earned her respect. As the case continues to unfold, the world is watching. This isn't just about one woman and one man. It's about an entire ecosystem that needs reform. Jackie Christie has become a symbol of resilience, proof that even in the darkest betrayal, a voice raised in truth can light the way. And she isn't finished yet.